In what has quickly become one of the most talked-about storylines of the 2025 Formula One season, Lewis Hamilton's transition to Ferrari is proving to be more turbulent than anticipated. The seven-time world champion entered the Miami Grand Prix weekend with tempered expectations after a frustrating start to his debut season with the Scuderia. While a promising sprint result in China hinted at potential, the overall adjustment to the SF25 chassis has been anything but smooth. Hamilton remains candid about his struggles, admitting that the Miami circuit's characteristics would likely amplify the car's current weaknesses. Citing a painful lack of confidence in medium and high-speed corners, Hamilton conveyed that there's no immediate fix in sight, and that this discomfort may linger throughout the season. Despite his legendary pedigree, the adaptation curve has proven steep, exposing the nuanced challenges even elite drivers face when switching teams mid-regulation cycle. Hamilton's unease was most pronounced during the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, where he trailed teammate Charles Leclerc by more than 30 seconds, an eternity by modern F1 standards. In qualifying, the gap was even more troubling, with Hamilton posting a time over 0.6 slower than Leclerc, leading to pointed questions about his synergy with the SF25. Over the team radio and in media interactions, Hamilton's tone was one of confusion and concern. He struggled to articulate specific technical shortcomings, instead describing a general disconnect with the vehicle. He said he was just sliding around and suffered from severe understeer and poor grip in both stints. In a brutally honest admission, Hamilton described the entire experience as horrible and not enjoyable, laying bare the emotional and psychological weight of failing to meet his and Ferrari's high expectations. The tension is not confined to Hamilton alone. Ferrari's management, including engineers and senior strategists, are reportedly dissatisfied with his current level of performance. Internally, the mood is one of mild concern rather than alarm, but cracks in morale are showing. Hamilton, known for his meticulous feedback and mental resilience, revealed that even after exhaustive setup work, there's no clear explanation for his pace deficit. While his team continues to comb through data for answers, Hamilton reiterated that nothing stands out in telemetry or onboard footage to explain his inability to extract speed in race conditions. "I try everything," he said, "but the car just doesn't want to go quicker." Such statements underscore the murky nature of modern car driver dynamics and the increasingly fine margins separating frontrunners from the midfield pack. Amid this flurry of speculation and self-doubt, Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur has stepped up to defend Hamilton, urging calm and a measured response. In an impassioned press briefing, Vasseur stated he is 2,000% behind the British driver and emphasized the importance of patience. Drawing parallels to Max Verstappen's own inconsistencies earlier in the season, Vasseur challenged the media's hunger for sensationalism, calling it "effing bull" to jump to conclusions. After just 5 races, he reiterated that this is a long season, where performance can swing significantly between circuits and conditions. Vasseur's unwavering support, while commendable, also underscores the stakes involved in Ferrari's high-profile signing of Hamilton. The team believes that with the right adjustments and continued development, Hamilton can still deliver race-winning performances. Outside the paddock, rumors of retirement began swirling, fueled by former driver Ralf Schumacher's comments suggesting Hamilton may walk away if the struggles continue. However, Hamilton was quick to shut down any such notions. Speaking to reporters after the Saudi Grand Prix, he made it clear he has no plans to quit, despite the rough start. He pointed to his sprint victory in China as evidence that progress is possible, even if it was followed by a disheartening disqualification due to excessive skid block wear. Hamilton's resilience and mental strength have long been his trademarks, and his insistence on staying the course reinforces his belief that this chapter with Ferrari is still worth writing, however painful its opening act may be. Ferrari's 2025 season as a whole has been defined by inconsistency. While Charles Leclerc salvaged a podium in Saudi Arabia, the team has consistently underperformed in qualifying, often lining up behind rivals Red Bull, McLaren, and even Mercedes. Though their race pace occasionally matches the frontrunners, the inability to start higher up the grid has severely hampered their ability to contest victories. Vasseur acknowledged this issue, stating that the difference between qualifying and race performance is Ferrari's biggest headache. He added that in Jeddah, Ferrari's pace in the latter half of the race was comparable to Verstappen's, but the early deficit in qualifying placed them on the back foot. This has prompted an internal re-evaluation of their Saturday performance, and the need to close the gap in single-lap pace to unlock the car's full potential. Efforts to address these concerns have already begun, with Ferrari rolling out an initial upgrade package in Bahrain focused on aerodynamic efficiency, particularly a redesigned floor. However, the updates were pre-planned and not tailored to address the newly identified weaknesses of the SF25, namely its rear-end instability. The car's narrow setup window has proven extremely sensitive to changes in balance and track conditions. The floor redesign did little to resolve the mechanical issues related to suspension stiffness and downforce management. For Hamilton, the high ride height mandated to avoid plank wear has been particularly problematic, costing valuable downforce under braking and through high-speed corners. These limitations have become emblematic of Ferrari's struggle to harmonize their package with the needs of both drivers. Compounding the issue is the inherent mismatch between the SF25's design philosophy and Hamilton's driving style. Where Leclerc thrives on a sharp front end and mid-corner rotation, Hamilton prefers a stable rear and consistent feedback, something the current chassis fails to deliver. Hamilton himself acknowledged that Leclerc's familiarity with the car, having driven variations of it for years, gives him a distinct edge. This difference has exacerbated the performance gap and complicated Ferrari's development strategy, as improvements for one driver may not benefit the other. Such dynamics highlight the challenge of fielding two top-tier talents with divergent preferences, especially in an era where car setup and driver comfort are deeply interwoven. Looking ahead, Ferrari is preparing a more comprehensive set of upgrades aimed at correcting fundamental flaws in the SF25. Targeted for rollout during the Imola or Spanish Grand Prix weekends, the update package includes a remodeled side pod, structure to enhance airflow, a second-generation floor to improve ground effect behavior, and suspension refinements to boost rear stability. These developments are expected to provide a more balanced and predictable car, particularly for Hamilton, who has struggled with rotation and grip. Ferrari's technical team, led by chassis chief Loic Serra and aerohead Diego Tondi, is spearheading the effort, emphasizing incremental gains rather than wholesale redesigns. Their primary goal is to expand the car's setup window, thereby increasing driver confidence across different circuits and conditions. An added wrinkle in Ferrari's development timeline is the FIA's impending technical directive targeting flexible front wings, believed to be a key component of McLaren's current performance surge. The directive, expected to take effect around the Spanish Grand Prix, could diminish McLaren's competitive edge. Ferrari, having explored similar flexi-wing solutions, is monitoring the situation closely. Any loss in performance for McLaren could open the door for Ferrari to close the gap. However, the Scuderia is taking a cautious approach, choosing to validate its upcoming upgrades against the new regulations before committing to a full deployment. This measured strategy reflects Ferrari's desire to avoid repeating past mistakes, where rushed updates failed to deliver the desired outcomes. As things stand, Ferrari's ambitious 2025 campaign remains at a crossroads. The SF25 clearly possesses potential, but unlocking it has proven elusive. For Hamilton, the path forward hinges on whether the upcoming upgrades can transform frustration into competitiveness. With the Imola and Spanish Grand Prix looming large, Ferrari's engineering team is racing against time to stabilize their platform and return to the front of the grid. Behind the scenes at Maranello, the urgency is palpable, but so too is the resolve. The team is not giving up on this season, nor is Hamilton, whose reputation and legacy are now entwined with Ferrari's 2025 trajectory. The coming weeks will reveal whether this high-stakes gamble yields redemption or deeper disappointment.